What is going on, Flesh and Blood community? It's your boy Sin here, and today we're going to just talk about a deck that I ran at the Battle Hardened Indianapolis, which was a Blitz Battle Hardened, and I went with a record of 5-3, placing 26th out of 170 people. I feel like this deck has great potential, and I ran into just a couple bad matchups that I haven't quite figured out yet. So keep an eye on this deck and definitely give it a shot over in Talishar if you're really feeling like it. But first, I have an announcement, something that I would like to show you all here on the channel. It's been in the works for a while, and it's actually a video that I have created. Yeah, so let's roll the clip.
There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are.
And all she's thinking about is winning.
How about that? If you guys want to partake in the Pittsburgh Brawl this May, it's going to be a great time here in Pittsburgh. I will be there. The Green Tree team will be there. And it's going to be an awesome event, an awesome weekend, and it's right in our home city, ready to rock and roll. I will also, and I do plan on having a video out from our weekend at the Indianapolis Battle Hardened, or Indianapolis Calling. Sometime this week I should have that up. It's going to take me some time to edit everything kind of down. So yeah, this is the deck that I ran at the Battle Hardened in Indianapolis. I went 5-3, winning against an Ira, Bravo, Oldhim, Kasai, and my round one was actually an auto win because my opponent didn't show up. So we take those, we take those. But teching this out, really, it's a pretty much traditional Briar, except you're running Crown of Dominion, you got the gold. In this list, there's two major things I want to talk about that are a little bit different than I see what most folks will run in their lists. Thing number one is that I'm running 5 separate draw engines. I'm running Gorganian Tome, I'm running 2 blue Sifs. To be able to cycle my hands. I'm running Cash-In, and then I'm running Sonata Arcanics. So I guess like 6 draw engines. And then of course we have the Force of Nature draw engine that combos off of Channel Mount Heroic. We all know that. We all hate playing against it, but it feels so good when it works. The major goal with this deck is you're trying to get to your Channel Mountain as quickly as possible. Even if you can't, you have a lot of ways to kind of pump your blues into other cards like Flex or Exude Confidence, forcing on hits on Snatch using Lightning Press, and then using Snapdragons to kind of keep the chain going on. Really, this is a turn 0 to turn 3, like, heightened aggression deck. Like you are scaling the aggression and the pressure you're putting on your opponent the minute the game starts. So you're really trying to play around on hit effects best you can. That a lot of that comes down to just like learning what you can take, what you can't take. With that, I'm running these blue Sifs for 2 reasons. 1, they're really good for hand fixing. 2, off of an embodiment of Earth, they block for 4. So it eliminates kind of my need to run a Sink Below, which could actually cause Sonata Arcanics to whiff completely. Even though we're running these Lightning Presses, so far I've played Sonata in every single game that I've played on Talishar and in person, especially at the Battle Hardened, and I have not had a Sonata whiff because of Lightning Press. So I kind of find that to be kind of good in Blitz. That's not. It can happen, but it doesn't happen often, at least in my play experience. I'm running yellow Ravenous Rabbles because if we get the Force of Nature to go off and we're drawing into other cards, I want to draw into something that has natural go again with Channel Mount Heroic. So like, and also still keeps within the range of no matter what happens, like whether I flip a red card or even as a contingency plan, I may even flip another yellow Ravenous Rabble. It still exceeds its base attack value. So if it hits, it draws the card. Another little play with Channel Mount Heroic that I kind of cooked up for this deck specifically is the ability to keep Channel Mount Heroic around for multiple turns. With how many cards you're drawing, you're really going to be in no shortage of blue cards to kind of pitch away for things. And in traditional Blitz Briar builds, you're running stuff like Plunder Run, which kind of slows you down because you really want to play it from Arsenal, or you need to like pitch into Spellbound Creepers to flash and Plunder Run, which I still think is a really viable option. It's a great card. It's another card engine, or it's another card draw engine, and that works for that deck. But for this deck, we're doing something a little bit different, and I found that it yields fantastic results. When it comes down to Exude Confidence, I can pump a blue into it, and if I pitch a blue Earth card to Channel Mount Heroic, or a combination of, say, like, you know, Cash In and the other Channel Mount, I can keep Channel Mount around for a second turn. And in this deck, and especially in Blitz, having Channel Mount out for more than one turn is devastating. The game has essentially been decided at that point in time. My personal results so far with Talishar, I've only really ran like, I think 12 games on Talishar with the deck. 12, but we're currently sitting at an 83% win rate, with the only loss being the Mirror and Arachne. I've taken down an Azalea, Benji, Bolton, Dash, Emperor, Levi, Alexi, Oldham, Prism, and Volta. This deck punishes decks that need to set up. That's the most important thing to note about it, is with how every single card in the deck synergizes with one another. It is very, very easy to just get the edge immediately, even on turn one. Even more so if you have the Lightning Press in hand to force extra early damage while also dropping a Channel Mount Heroic if possible. It really makes this deck gross. But yeah, no, that's pretty much the deck. This is the deck. We're doing 1 Gork Tome, 2 Bramble Sparks, 2 Channel Mounts, 2 Enlightened Strikes, 2 Exude Confidences, 2 Red Flexes, 2 Red Lightning Presses, 2 Red Nimblisms, 2 Red Ravenous Rabbles, 2 Yellow Ravenous Rabbles, 2 Scar for Scars, 2 Snatches, 2 Sonatas, 2 Swarming Gloom Veils, 1 Cash In, 2 blue Autumn's Touches, 2 blue Captain's Calls, 2 blue Earthlore Surges, 2 blue Force of Natures, obviously, 2 blue Sifts, and 2 blue Tome of Harvests. Some of the combo lines that I've experienced myself is being able to set up to play Tome of Harvests, and then I play Tome of Harvests, draw 3 cards, and then I had it happen once where Cash In was in that hand. I then played Cash In out. It created the Lightning Embodiment, and I drew 2 more cards. Then I had 2 blues in hand that I kind of didn't really have anything to do with, and I also drew a Sonata. So I pumped 2 blues into the Sonata while I had Channel Mounts out, so that met the requirements for Channel Mount to stay out for a second turn after that, if it needed to even be there. And then ripped, the 3 off the top deck from non-attack, attack, non-attack, attack, non-attack, attack, non-attack, and dealing 3 arcane. And then I would just spin out with like multiple Ravenous Rabbles, Scar for Scars, finishing up with like Exude Confidence pumped or Flex pumped. And it's just, your opponent is pretty much dead at that point. I wish I had some more defining tech here, but honestly, this deck is gross. I highly recommend you give it a try. I hate to describe decks as just like being able to stomp opponents, but this deck stomps opponents. Definitely give it a shot. Give it a little look-see, a little test out. But Royal Briar is really something that I think most folks in the Blitz community, especially going into the skirmish season, is going to want to really look out for, because, oh man, this deck packs a punch. But that's really it, guys. I don't have too much else to say about it other than, if you like this video, subscribe. I will be having a video come out sometime maybe later this week, kind of a recap of my experience and the team's experience at the Indianapolis calling. It was a great time. I got to meet a lot of folks in the Fab community. I actually had some folks come up to me and ask me to sign their like bauble cards. It was really cool. So that was the first time it's ever happened to me, and that just tells me that what we're doing here is right. And I've got folks that really appreciate what I'm doing for the channel. And if you recognize me at an event at any point, I will be at Pro Tour Baltimore as well. Please feel free to come up, say hi. I'm very friendly, and I love talking to people and chatting to people about the game we all love, Flesh and Blood. So feel free to hit me up there. And yeah, guys, thanks a lot. Sin out.